Good morning, everybody. In this week 10 video, we will discuss about the use of finite difference method to solve dynamic distributed model. So what are the unsteady state distributed model, or what we call transient distributed model? If we make a model in this category, we will have a set of partial differential equations. Basically, PDEs are equations that describe a variable in two or more dimensions. Since a variable in two dimensions can be physically perceived as a surface, and in a PDE we have a time variable, when we solve this PDE, we should have a profile of a surface that is changing as a function of time. So basically, we will figure out how the surface is changing in the two coordinates. There are two types of unsteady state PDEs, parabolic and hyperbolic PDEs. Parabolic PDE or division type PDE can be physically thought as equations that smooth out the initial condition in space. In reality, phenomena that can be described by this PDE is conduction, viscosity, and dispersion in material, momentum, and energy balances. This equation shows the general form of the parabolic PDE, where it has a first order with respect to time and second order with respect to space. Hyperbolic PDE, on the other hand, it can be perceived as an equation that let the initial condition travel in space as waves. In reality, the phenomenon that can be explained by this hyperbolic PDE is the convection in material, momentum, and energy balances. This PDE has the general form like this. Second order with respect to time, and then second order with respect to space. And there are a special type of the hyperbolic PDE, which we call the first order hyperbolic PDE or the convection type PDE. It has this general form where it is a first order with respect to time and first order with respect to space. Normally we solve these PDEs in finite difference method. We use method of lines, where it can be used to solve the parabolics and hyperbolic PDEs. The method of lines work by discretize the PDE in space, so that essentially you will have a set of ordinary differential equations in time. These ODEs can be solved using an ODE solver. Since this method of lines discretize the space dimension, depending on how many mesh points you take, it can result in a large set of ordinary differential equations. There are several ways to do these discretizations. Finite difference is what we will use in here, and you can also use a finite volume or finite element, which we will not discuss in here. The method of lines has the same basic step like what we discussed in last week lecture, when we use this method of lines for solving the steady state distributed models. First, we choose a mesh on the interval. Then we need to decide how many is our internal grid points, and then we use a fixed increment. So we abide by this equation, and then we approximate the derivative. We change the derivative into a difference form, and then we apply the derivative on the PDE for each mesh point. So we will have n ODEs for the internal mesh points. Depending on our boundary conditions, we can solve. We can then solve the PDE by applying the approximations of the PDE at the boundary if we have the von Neumann boundary conditions, where the value of the derivative is given on the boundary, and then we have additional equations on this for this BC. Basically, if we have a Dirichlet BC, we will have a more straightforward solution, because then the value of the dependent variables on the boundary is known, so that we don't need extra equations. Depending again on the BCs. So if we have that Newman BC or the Robin BC, then we have an extra NB ODEs. If we don't have this, we just have a Dirichlet BC, then we only have an N ODEs. Then once we get these ODEs, then we can solve this problem. In most cases, it will always be stiff, and it will require a special solver called ODE15S in MATLAB. Space discretizations that we need to discuss in here is convection terms. The convection term in here is quite special because it cannot be treated in the same way as the first order derivative in the finite difference method used in static PDE problems. In here, the convection term should be discretized upwind so that it's approximated in the direction opposite to the flow direction. Meaning that if the direction is from the left to the right, then this convection term has to have the direction from the right to the left. So instead of using the forward approximation, we have to use the backward approximation. Diffusion term is similar with the steady state distributed model. So we can use the center difference approximations. And also the diffusion term can be of first order if the discretization is done in cylindrical or spherical coordinates following the equation shown here. Now we want to implement those steps into the real example. In here we will discuss a particular PDE here, which can be derived from steam heat exchanger, where we have a steam heated plug flow heat exchanger, where there is a exchange of heat along these directions. The boundary conditions in here is that T is equal to T naught at Z equals 0. And then the initial conditions in here is that T is a function of Tz, is a function of Z at T equals 0. First thing is that we need to select the grid, and then we, since we want to solve from 0 to L, then our step size will be H is equal L divided by N plus 1. The second step, we will replace the convection term with this backward difference term. So we basically essentially replacing this, the delta T per del Z in here with this term in here. Then we apply this, so our equations for each mesh point will become like this. We will have the ODE that we need to solve for each mesh point in this form. And then since we have a Dirichlet BC where the temperature at the inlet is known, then we don't have an extra equations from the boundary conditions. Then we can start defining the parameter value, the velocity, the heat transfer, the density, the heat capacity, the tube diameter, the tube length, steam temperature, and the inlet temperature. Now we need to create MATLAB file functions that basically defines the ordinary differential equations for each mesh points in here. So this line in here giving the parameter value, this line in here is creating the grid, and then this creates a particular matrix, and then this one is creating the basically the boundary conditions or the known value, and this one is creating your differential equation. So this term in here, dt, is basically what is defined by these equations in here. And you can look at the week 10 additional materials that I give in the canvas to see how to convert those metrics into the MATLAB codes. Like in here, for example, we are deriving the case for 3 internal grid points in here. So this will be for the point of I equal 1. This one is for I equal 2. This one is for I equal 3. This one is for I equal 4. And then you will have 1, 2, 3, 4 ordinary differential equations according to this formula in here. So this is if we only have 3 internal grid points. I just want to illustrate the case using a simple example. And then this will be our matrix of interest in our MATLAB functions. This matrix in here is what we called as A1. Okay. A1 can be created using this common in here, which is essentially this is the first term, I4, and then this will be the second term in here. And then by noticing that you have these things in here, then it works the same when you increase the internal grid points. If I go back into my slides again, after we define this ordinary differential equations, then we need to create another MATLAB file called example 6.1 in here, where we solve using ODE15S. We call the ODE15S and then put in pass the functions, and then we want to solve from 0 until 0.1, and then this one is the initial value of the temperature, and then H is a matrix. In this case, when we use an internal grid points of 11, then we want to solve from 0 until 0.1. Then we create two figures here. The figures are shown in the next slide. So once we run this example 6.1, we will get this figure in here. Figure on the left hand side is when we have an internal grid points of 10, and then the figure on the right is when we have an internal grid points of 100. As you can see in here, the temperature is a function of time, and then it's also a function of position. So this one in here is a function of z at z equals 0.1 at z equals 0. This one is at z equals 0.01, and so forth until z equals 0.1. The result will be more fine if we use more internal points. We can also plot the temperature as a function of tube length at different time. So this will be at t equal 0, and then as the time increasing, then you will basically get a profile that is going into the upper directions. With this, I conclude my week 10 video, and thank you everybody for listening.